Hello! Hello everyone, it's Minling from Brand Fame. I'm super excited to be here with you today. I'm just fixing up the cameras. I'm excited to be on both Facebook Live and Periscope to talk about the subject on if Facebook groups really work or not. So we're going to just give it a moment before people join and come in, but I'm really excited to talk about this subject with you guys because it is something that seems to be all the rage. I've talked to many people that are, in the online space, online industry, and they're getting their coaching certification and all this stuff, and a lot of people are telling them that they should start a Facebook group. So I thought I would go ahead and, do a little live stream about whether or not the Facebook group is really going to work for you and whether or not you should do it, because it does take a lot of time and energy. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Min Ling, and I'm the founder of Brand Fame. I'm a branding and marketing strategist and coach, and I come from a corporate background, so I've worked with a lot of big corporations. I worked in Nestle on the Lean Cuisine and the Nestle Toll House brand. I also worked and consulted for Toyota, Sumitomo Corporation, UBM, so have an extensive background in branding and marketing. Oh, I see some people have joined us. So if you are new to either the Facebook Live or the Periscope, go ahead and say hi so I can get to know you as well too. So go ahead and just pop it in the chat box. I love to get some interaction going just to see who you are, and I would love to get to know you. So go ahead and put your just say hi. I can't. When two thoughts come into my mind, sometimes I mix up my words. But go ahead and say hi by just commenting below and let me know where you're coming in from or where you're scoping in or live streaming from. I would love to get to know you. Anyways, so like I was saying, a lot of people are being taught that they should go ahead and, create a Facebook group and start building a following and building your tribe. And that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants to have followers. And it is definitely a growing trend. Oh, some Facebookers are here. So go ahead and just let me know who you are as well, too, so I can say hello. But one of the things, oh, Tamika joined. Hi, Tamika. How are you? So one of the things that I want to talk about is whether or not Facebook groups are really right for your business. So, I have a strong opinion. Other people have strong opinions about whether or not you should use Facebook group marketing. And I am of this camp. It doesn't matter what technique you use, because the reality is you need to figure out what your position is in the market, how you're differentiated than everyone else that's out there. So whether you use Facebook groups to market yourself, or you go ahead and put out an ad, or you go ahead and do a networking meeting, whatever it is, bottom line first is that you have to position yourself as an expert in whatever you do, whether it is in coaching, in business, in healthcare, whether you have the best product, whatever it is, you have to go ahead and make sure that you position yourself correctly in the market. Good point. Thank you, Tamika. I love it. Tamika owns a really awesome dog walking company in LA. So if you ever need a dog walking company, go to her. Out for a walk, right? outforawalk.net. Anyways, I love Tamika. But the reason why I share this is because you really have to understand how it is you are better than everyone else. And if you are just going into Facebook groups to lurk, to, promote your stuff, you're not going to get clients. Nobody's going to care about what you have to say. You got to really think about, okay, how do I want to show up? How do I want to be perceived in the marketplace? What do I want people to think of me? And how do I want them to feel when they interact with me? When you get these things down, then you can start to create the right posts, to get traction, to get interest. So it doesn't matter what kind of marketing you do, you have to really understand how you make people feel, what you want people to perceive you as. If you want to be, like Tamika, the best dog walking company in LA because you build this personal relationship, or you want to, be a health coach that doesn't believe in diets and really has a point of view about not subscribing to diets and providing an alternative healthy lifestyle. Whatever it is, you got to figure out how you are unique and different in the market so that people can go ahead and be like, oh, when they think of dog walking, they'll think of Tamika. When they think of branding, they'll think of Minling. When they think of healthy living, they'll think of somebody else, whoever that person is. So you got to figure out what your selling points are before you go ahead and go into your advertising or marketing efforts. But when you go ahead and advertise and create, your marketing material, you don't want to come across like you're spamming or promoting. What I see a lot of people do in these Facebook groups, especially, is they talk about the products that they want to sell, or like book a call with me, or I have this special, or buy this and get this. That doesn't position you in the market. That's basically actually repelling people, because people are like, okay, this person needs to go ahead and it wants to sell to us. Tamika says we need clarity for ourselves before we can expect people to believe in us. That's so true. You got to be clear on what value you offer before somebody's going to buy from you. They're not going to just buy because you posted something that's offering a free discovery call, or you're posting something because you have 50% off something. You got to show your value in the post. Whatever you do in the marketing, how are you going to solve the problem better than your competitors? How are you going to solve their unique problem, your ideal client's unique problem? How are you going to meet them emotionally? How are you going to figure out what their unmet needs are and solve those problems? When you're able to do that, when you're able to create this, this perception, these ideas. Sorry, I got distracted. I got a little notification. But when you're able to create, this clarity in your mind about how you want to perceive, then you'll approach marketing differently. And you'll enter the groups providing that value, providing that service, providing that, the knowledge that you have. And then you'll be seen as an expert. Now, I also have my own opinions on whether or not Facebook groups is the right place to market. I know I said, before, Facebook groups, or if you're, advertising, it doesn't really matter in marketing. Well, the thing is, with Facebook groups, they are so prolific, it's really hard to stand out. It's really hard for you to get known, especially in a very, very large community. So you really have to, if you want to use Facebook as your method, you have to be completely dedicated in showing up as an expert every single time you step into those groups. Because if you show up every once in a while or post every now and then, no one's going to remember you. It's all about repetition. I said that right. Because repetition creates your reputation. I should coin that somewhere. But it's true. When you have repetition in the market, when you're posting about, what it is that you are good at, what your value you bring, or you reinforce those value points, then people start to get to know you for those things. And when they start to get to know you for those things, that is when you go ahead and start to build the know, like, and trust and the expertise status. Now, I also have some thoughts around whether or not you should go ahead and join Facebook groups, or go ahead and start your own Facebook groups. Because, when you join a Facebook group, you want to look at the interaction that's happening in the group. Is it overwhelming where nobody can see your post because there's too much action? You probably don't want to join that group because it'll be harder for you to stand out. If you are seeing that it's all promotional posts and that everybody's just promoting, you probably don't want to hang out in that group either, because they're not going to be paying attention to what you have to say. They're going to be paying attention to them posting their own stuff, trying to get clients, right? So they're not really going to be looking for your posts if it's all promotional posts. If you are thinking about starting your own Facebook group, it really is going to take a lot of effort to create this community, create this container. Now, I did have a Facebook group of my own, and it had almost over 1,800 people in the group, and Tamika was one of them, so thank you, Tamika. But I had a group, it was great, but it took a lot of energy for me to manage to create and to cultivate this community. And so what I decided to do was I decided to let go of that community, even though I loved it. And the reason why was because not not that I didn't love the community, I felt that my marketing was constrained to just that community. My thoughts and my tips and everything, I was just putting it into that community, and I wasn't really putting it elsewhere in the market where it could be more visible. So Facebook groups are better to create these relationships, these more intimate relationships. So when you're starting out, if that's your goal, then this may be a method for you. But what I felt I needed to do, and for my own business, and it's all a personal choice, and so no judgment on wherever you are as well too. I felt I needed to share what I knew, my knowledge, in a much bigger way, in a much bigger platform, which is why I'm doing more Facebook Lives and Periscopes, so that you guys can get these tips and apply it to your business, and hopefully you get a nugget of information that you can use into your business, because I want to share more of what I know to more people so that they really understand what branding and marketing is all about, and have these tools for their own business, because I think it's really important. That's what I really love it when people can take my advice and apply it, because it makes me feel like, I did my job and I've provided value and service. And so that's where I have shifted my business, so away from Facebook groups. So you got to look at what your goals are. If you want to create deeper relationships, which is totally fine, or if you want to get more visibility, because each strategy is going to be a little bit different. And so my strategy is for more visibility. I'm just going to be completely 100% honest here, like I'm being really frank here, but it's because I want to get more people to know who I am as a brand. And from there, I can create some deeper relationships through other means. So that's why I decided to get rid of my Facebook group, was because I was more interested in this visibility aspect, which is why I'm doing more of these scopes, these live streams, to help you, to help serve more people, and to share what I know based off of my years of experience. And so think about that when you're thinking about whether or not to start your own Facebook group. Don't start it because somebody told you to start it. Don't start it because you think, everybody's going to come and start, commenting. That's not going to happen, at least in the beginning, because a lot of people, have Facebook groups out there. So you got to understand how you want to position your Facebook group within this market as well too, within your market, because there's so many groups out there, and it's going to take a lot of time and energy to cultivate. And so you have to think about if your time is worth being in that group, or if your time is worth, cultivating relationships elsewhere or marketing elsewhere as well too. So that's really also important to understand as you're figuring out if Facebook group is the right place to find your ideal clients, to get your ideal clients as well too. But the key is, no matter what you decide, what you do, whether you do Facebook groups or not, you really got to understand what makes you different, and what how you can position yourself in the marketplace, that people are like, oh, I know exactly what you do. Oh, Min Ling can help me with this exact thing, or whatever your business is. You got to know what your position is before you enter the Facebook group or even marketing, so you can showcase your value points. And when you can showcase your value points in a way that meets your client's needs and is exactly what they're looking for, then they'll start to message you and want to be working with you. You got to start building this type of relationship and providing this extreme value to them, where they can get a lot of good information and tips from you, so that they can start to trust you. Because at the end of the day, people only buy based off an emotional place. If they trust you, if you're meeting a need that they want to solve, they're not buying from their mind. They're not buying because you have a pretty website. They're buying, because how you are positioning yourself in the market. Ooh, that was a hard sentence for me to say. But it's how you're positioning yourself in your market compared to your competitors. How you're showing value. That's when they start to buy. How you're emotionally connecting to your clients. That's how they buy. And so when you can get those pieces, it's going to transform your business. So anyways, I know I did a lot of talking. Hopefully this is valuable for you. So if it was valuable, click the like button, click the, hearts, depending on what platform you are, so I can go ahead and see if this is resonating with you as well too. I also have a training that's completely free, 100%. It's called Discover Your Brand It Factor and Make Bank in Your Biz. You can go to brandfameschool.com/it factor to go ahead and grab your your seat and grab, the training, because I'm going to walk you through how to discover your it factor so you can start to stand out. What are the key components of it? So you can go to brandfameschool.com/it factor. And then also tomorrow, I'm going to be here again live, probably around this time, maybe a little bit earlier, but about this time, around 4-ish Pacific time, to talk about your ideal clients and how everybody is teaching it wrong in the marketplace and what you need to do instead, because this is going to shift how you think about your ideal clients. So I can't wait to share that with you. So make sure you mark your calendars. I will be back here at 4 p.m. Pacific time, roughly, give or take, to share that with you tomorrow. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and pop it in the chat box. Happy to answer. And again, you can go to brandfameschool.com/it factor to go ahead and grab your free training on discover your brand it factor and make bank in your biz. Again, it's brand fame as in famous school.com/it factor. Awesome. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for being here. I enjoyed this talk with you, and I will see you later. Oh, hi Jessica. How are you? Sorry, this was the end of the training, but hopefully you can watch the replay. So it's great to see you. Okay, bye everyone. Have a wonderful day.